I just wanted to take a few minutes and tell everybody about Lektor because I don't know if it's getting that much attention out in the world, but we used it for the IndyPy sites, the main IndyPy site and the conference sites. So probably most, if not all of you that are out there today have already visited these sites prior to the web conference. Lektor is a static site generator that's based on, it says it's based on Python and some Node.js. I haven't really looked too deep into it, but we were fortunate enough to be allowed to borrow this project code from PyCascades. So we have to send them a lot of thanks, but we just kind of took it and ran with it. We were able to sort of retheme it for what we needed. And I was just thinking, there's definitely a time and a place for static sites, but there's never a time and a place to be manually editing HTML pages. So Lektor was really cool. Just want to make sure that I'm not going to show you how to install it. It's pretty straightforward on their site. They have some good documentation here. You can actually just install it with this. I think I did it slightly differently because I have it running in a virtual env. But anyway, the cool part about it is basically you have these three most important aspects: this content folder, the models folder, and the templates. And the cool thing is your content goes in here, and the structure builds the URLs of your site. And I'm going to use talks as an example. Here's all our talks for, we are in the web conf folder, okay. And make this wider. Inside each one, there will be a contents LR file. And I can't remember exactly what format this is, but it's basically field : data. And so it's structured, and for your bigger text fields, you can actually define them as being markdown or restructured text. And where you define that is in the models. So if we go here to a talk, we can see these same fields represented. And this is basically how you define the schema, like what kind of fields they are. You can actually make drop downs as far as like the idea of having multiple values in a field. And part of what this does is when you fire up Lektor server, we don't, so I'm going to go just to the web conf folder. I guess we have it turned off. There's actually a, it will give you an edit button. I can't remember the link. It's probably hidden. So anyway, it actually builds on the fly a dynamic sort of content editing window. I can show you in the documentation based on those fields that you define in the models. So you don't necessarily have to go edit at the code level. You can use the web, through the web editing, and it will actually save those changes back to the file system. The other cool thing that we're doing with this is when we make changes and we commit them to master, we're using Netlify to host the site. So it's hooked up to the GitHub repo for the project. And so when that commit hits master, Netlify automatically builds Lektor. The Lektor build happens on the Netlify server, and the site gets updated instantly, or fairly instantly. So anyway, it's a pretty cool tool. It's a lot different. It was actually more fun to use. something that was lightweight and didn't have the overhead of an object database. And anyway, it's really neat. If you have a lightweight site that you need to produce quickly, give it a look. Something else the PyCascades people did was they did their templates not just in Jinja, which is what Lektor uses by default, but they use Jade, which gives you meaningful indentation. So your HTML template can become very concise and more Pythonic.